gonna be like that. Watch. Let's go.
Let's make it happen. All right, 1, 2, yo. We are back again. It's the Global Takeover Podcast. It's your man, Professor Did the Math. And visually, we got my girl, Empress B 444.
What it is, what it do, family.
Yes, indeed. And over here, got my man, Big LaLa in the building.
What's good, people?
All right, and we coming back again with another explosive episode and another extraordinary and exceptional guest. My man, my brother,
Woo!
Red Pill.
All
right.
Peace.
Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. Peace to the whole entire audience that's out there. I am honored to be here. I'm here with some legends. You know, Empress B 44. She already know. She already knows what it is. Like, that's fam right there. You know, from the day that we met, she's been 10 toes down, very supportive. Very, because in this community, people don't realize what everybody is struggling for. I don't think a few of the smart students were able to stand back and look and see the totality of it. But ultimately, this is a struggle to be appreciated. This is about valuation at the end of the day. And it's a race to be valuated at the highest. It's like a stock. Mm-hmm. A lot of the speakers, a lot of the teachers, a lot of the personalities, a lot of the individuals in this community, they live to be appreciated. They want to be appreciated because when you come into this thing, you're underappreciated, you're undervalued, and you're just basically whatever. So to be appreciated and to have people add value, because by you coming to hold us down, Empress, that was adding value to the brand.
All right.
Right? That was value for value. It was value for value. It made us feel like we was doing something sincere to attract, somebody such as yourself that was holding it down.
That's right.
And when that happens, you feel appreciated and then you feel valued. And that translates into better work, right? Because look at the people. I know some people in our community who, they didn't get valued and whatnot. Yeah. And I see what it did to them. And then when they started being valued, when people started adding value to them and putting value to them and supporting them, they got nice again. Things changed. Their hearts got a little bit lighter. They fell back. But when they weren't being valued and respected and appreciated, all hell was breaking loose. Fire breathing.
Where are you, Beth?
I definitely lost for that.
Well, I definitely appreciate y'all. Appreciate me. It's been love. I don't know. I think
you already
in your family already. Anyway, we just meshed when we met.
I just wish you was contagious like the COVID. I'm talking about. I just wish you was contagious like the COVID, and you and a whole bunch of people would catch your flu.
Yeah. I'm working on it. And it's spreading. Believe you me, I'm seeing things through these.
That's good.
Days. Oh my goodness.
Most definitely.
But this episode, we want to keep it kind of light, but we definitely want to address what's going on with George Floyd briefly. But we want to keep it light because that's already in the media, and have a nice, happy episode. Mm-hmm. But what is your take on, I guess, the reactions, the necessities, just the whole situation?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, rise in power.
Absolutely.
That man's memory.
Yes.
Twin is what he's called.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Steven Jackson's twin.
That's it. Steven Jackson. Yeah.
We was just talking about that earlier.
Yeah. My dude, Steven. And to Steven, I'm sending him power, energy, I'm sending that man light. And as a twin, I would definitely be willing to stand shoulder to shoulder or face to face, you know, with the brother and tap into that twin power with him. You know what I'm talking about? Because he's a warrior. You know, the God, remember, the reason why this thing is so important, this is so symbolic. This is so symbolic. This is going to be looked at and this is going to be unpacked in so many different ways. But his twin, who survives him, right? Who's really his doppelganger, because they're not even biological, but they actually look, huh?
That's right. They're not really twins, but they look
They look
exactly alike.
damn near identical.
That's
Yeah.
wild, too.
And they was cool.
Huh? Beyond cool.
Yeah.
They were calling them twin.
Yeah.
They didn't call him twin because he had a twin. They was calling him twin because him and Steven Jackson is rolling like twins,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But George is not a nobody. He's not just twin, right? He's not just twin, you know? He's Big Floyd.
Exactly.
He's Big Floyd the God. Do you know that?
Mhm.
No, do you know that's what his name was?
I didn't know that, but I could just see it. You know, just looking at some of
He's
his
a-
past videos, he was extremely awake. He was definitely aware. You know, so it goes a little deeper when you tie in
Facts.
twins. So
He died in the Twin City.
right.
He's from Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when Twin from Houston was being killed in Minneapolis, Twin from New York was in Houston. That's weird to me. Like, that's what my name is, Twin. They call me, everybody knows me as Twin. He's Big Floyd the God,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like how they have, that's what Steven Jackson hashtag, Big Floyd the God. So he is a pioneering Houston, Atlanta screw tape artist. Did you know that? That he was on the original screw tapes as Big Floyd the God.
Wow.
He's a rap artist. He's a legend in Houston. He's not just some dude that was cashing his check. He got out of Houston and went to recreate himself in the Twin Cities, right? And he was killed as a result of a call about forgery, right? So if he could die for forgery, and we had to survive through COVID-19 and learn about Bill Gates and Fauci and the 100 other doctors that are out here drilling our people and smiling at us, right? With no consequences, then what's popping? You know what I'm saying? What's really good? Like, what are we living in right now? What episode of the Twilight Zone are we living in? That's what I want to know. Because last week, I just saw 800 Europeans with automatic rifles run up in the Capitol in Michigan. And this was the second time they did it. Right. They did it about 2 weeks before that.
Right.
They had an effigy of the governor hanging from a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In another state, not in Michigan. In Michigan, they threatened one of the public officials inside of the Capitol. Right? And they was yelling in the police face in the time of COVID. Did you know that the Michigan Army is the largest standing army in the world?
Yeah, I heard you speaking on that.
Did you know that after I spoke about that, a dam opened up and flooded all of where they live?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that also happened? That happened out of nowhere?
Beautiful.
Go and ask anybody from the D, because what they were saying was that because of the COVID, they didn't want nobody from Detroit coming up to the Kent lands and whatnot, or where they was at, and they was trying to block them. So after we revealed that the Michigan Army, that's the Michigan militia. It's not them. It's the Michigan militia, which is the Michigan Police Force, which is the Michigan National Guard, which is everything that goes into the Army and all around from Michigan, right? Mm-hmm. But they're the head. They're like Voltron. They're the headpiece of the whole militia network, right? what they do, it sets the precedence for everything else, right? So when I go to Texas and I go to Orlando as the connecting flight, the Europeans this is a red state, this is Zimmerman's home, right? So I'm feeling every ounce of tension. I'm peeping everything, you know. I'm a little woke. It's early in the morning. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Had the sea moss, had the sea moss tea, you know, burnt a little bit of sacraments because I always fly high like Jim Jones. And I'm like, these are some weird Poindexter in this airport. I'm looking at them. They looking like hog wrestlers, alligator wrestlers, Duck Dynasty, a little bit of Joe Exotics running around. You know what I'm saying? Some of them was in full fatigue. You got the show was over there.
Yeah.
The big boss in them, big old Uncle Fester looking crackers.
Right.
I'm looking at them. They looking at me. I got my Garvey. I'm in full regalia. You know what I'm talking about?
I thought it was looking at you.
I wasn't cosplaying. I decided not to cosplay a fucking Huxtable when I go to the airport this time, because that's what niggas do.
Right.
Niggas that be turned in the fucking jungle or in the trenches, you get in them airports, you start cosplaying a good nigga, okay? Niggas know they don't go in the air. Only a real rambunctious nigga will cross TSA and start acting up.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas be on their best behavior in that airport.
Yeah.
So I'm in all my shit. I'm like, fuck that. This is COVID. Y'all got me wearing a mask anyway. So I'm masked up. Look at me. I got the mask on with the AirPods on it. The big all fatigue, right? I'm fatigued to the head. So they like, oh, look at this army nigga, because they put us in categories. They all right, he's gay. Okay, look out, this nigga switching. He's gay. He's safe. Okay, this nigga's military. All right, he's one of us. He's safe. Okay, there goes the do-rag. Watch out, guys. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh, what? Face tap. You know what I mean? Then one of them hold on to the blicky. You know what I mean? They get on they Bernard Gets.
That's a
Protect the Karens. Protect Karen. Oh, protect Karen. But Karen is out here choosing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Woo.
And that's what it's based on.
Mm.
That one this whole interaction. Our whole is deep into sexuality of the highest form. As a Scorpio, I'm privileged to be able to. My shit is like Forex signals. I could pick up on the channels. You know what I'm saying? I'm just my receptors. My antennas are up because of my sign. I have heavy Scorpio influence, so I could pick up the sexual tension. I could pick up sexual energy. I read it like I read it like a radar. So when they women start choosing, right? These dudes who exhibit a level of fear, if you present yourself in your primal self, meaning that you decide not to code switch, because we always are given the opportunity for double consciousness, like W.E.B. Du Bois put in that book where he told niggas in a very articulate way how to code switch in America and Western society to make these people comfortable around you. You have to have a double consciousness. You got to be two people. You're a nigga behind the closed doors, right?
Cool.
And then you're a nigger, a ER, you're a good boy outside the house. That's what niggas' moms was trying to raise them as. And then we rebelled. Henceforth, that's where we at right now. And they blame it on us. And we say, fuck you. You were trying to raise us to be a cracker, right? You was trying to raise us to be little Martins. Stop fucking playing. Y'all didn't tell us what this shit really was. Y'all try to pacify us. Y'all try to line us up. And then we seen it for what it was. So what did my generation do? We went outside and started putting hands and feet on the ops.
Yeah.
That's what we did. And the guard is right there. He's from the town, so he already knows what it is. We talking pre-9/11 New York. Two completely different New Yorks. If you wasn't there and the towers fell, you can't come in. You'll never be able to see it. It fell with the towers, right? The towers was like the gate. And after the towers fell, all of these other niggas started coming into the city. No offense to all of these other niggas, but that was never our reality. okay? The motherfucking gates was up, nigga. You couldn't, like I said, a Flatbush nigga couldn't even go to Bed-Stuy until some of us opened that up. We made that possible. Me, Poop Man, my dude Disco, you know, anybody that really knows streets, they know what it is. And the clubs opened that, the shit like the Arc and the Tunnel and all of that, that opened up that opened up the boroughs and the different parts of Brooklyn being able to come together like that and not rob each other. But they, of course, that shit commenced. You know, that's when the stick-ups happened. That's when the home robberies and the let's follow these niggas home and all of that started kicking off.
Right.
But
so, can I say something real quick?
Yes, sir.
I just want to touch on one thing you were saying as far as like when you were saying as far as when you were talking about the white man and basically it, almost like protecting. You still there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Like, almost like it sounded like you were basically saying they were starting to feel inadequate, useless. No, I mean honestly, like it's almost like
right.
The women are choosing us now. What are what are they good for? You know what I'm saying? And not being funny, but when it comes,
this is their biggest movements is the MGOT, men going their own way. That's the biggest wave right now. It's called incel now. The cuckolds, right? The white boys who are complaining about the fact that they're beginning to hate their women because they said that the women are no good, that they, the options are thin. That's code word for saying y'all out here choosing these niggas. The browning of America is a real thing.
Right.
I travel a lot. Niggas is out here busting down some Karens. Let me tell you, bro.
Yeah.
Niggas is out here eating some white meat for real. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you know what the crazy thing
because
is?
Because I know what that is.
That's like a problem too. Like when you get into like a lot of like you go back in the days, we wouldn't dilute our bloodline. We like right now that's almost like impure, and that's what their whole plan was in a way. And after a while, you're not gonna be able to know who's who, where you from, or anything like that. We're all just gonna be all blended. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not me.
No, I mean it's what's happening. Like you said, it's becoming it's a browning of America. We're starting to mingle. We're starting to mingle with them on a higher scale. You see what I'm saying? So it's almost like,
well, hip hop did that.
Well, yes, it's been done.
You said hip hop did that?
Definitely. Hip hop more so than Michael Jackson in that whole pop revolution. You know.
You say hip hop or the videos? Because the hip hop, like in the music, I don't know if everybody was just necessarily saying.
Well, no. The videos definitely, the visual cord. It was not in the music.
It wasn't in the music. It was the visual.
The visual aspect of it. That played a part, but to my recollection, it really began to kick off with the drug game.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta remember who Becky is, and like they gravitated towards us in our lowest state because that was something that they were being able to resonate with. The drug dealer, the murderer, the killer, the nigga who was basically feeding off of his own, right? They welcomed him in quiet towns with an open arm. Quiet Town tied down. Yeah. All up quiet towns is where the Becky started, fetishing over these drug dealers, these gangsters, these outlaws. The same thing, they did that historically. Mm-hmm. Even 50s when Bumpy and them, they was knocking down Becky's and all of that. Then you go back into the 20s, you go even further back, and then you go into the Moorish stories, and you go into the pirates. Like, this is what they do because they don't have a moral compass like that. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody, that's neighborhood for real. And that's what it was. And then in the hip hop, because of remember, we're talking about the trophy of America. The American pie is the white woman, right? The American pie is the white woman, right?
But that's never been, but okay, it is, but I feel like it's.
Think about America as a human being, status symbols in white America in a human form. It's not a white man. Nobody can own a white man. A black woman, there's no points really in that. And a black man, there's no points really in that because none of us are into that shit, right? We're not into that world. But in that world where DeRay McKinney, all of the Black Lives Matter people with all of the broken wrist dudes is at, pulling up with, you know, Woody Allen or some shit. You know, I guess they saying something. I don't know. Because they run around with the Roman designers at the Met Gala like that's their boyfriends. They showing off. They be showing off Versace and Jeremy, you know. So remember, we're talking Rome right here. And I'm not being facetious or nothing. We're just talking, you know, what people have given all of these lofty names. It's just Rome. It's niggas in Rome being Roman. And we're on some Hannibal shit saying family. You can't be in Rome acting Roman. There's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
It's a dominant society. It's about sexual domination. It's about deceit, right? It's everything that Rome was. It's backwardsness. It's murder. It's crooked politicians. It's Chichiman. It's Babylon. You know what I'm talking about? It's all of that. It's the money. The money is, you know, the money is not good. Money is blood money.
Do you agree with coding?
With who?
Coding, like knowing how to operate and be a certain place, be in certain environments and act a certain way.
You mean the switch, code switch?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a component. I don't condone coding.
Okay.
What I do condone is leveling up. Because if you could go into a room and have the intellect that can match the highest intellect in a room, you don't have to code.
Well, what I'm saying is, the reason why I say that is because right now, we still live in a country right now where we still have to go to work. So I can't be my nigga self.
Yeah.
In that what you call it.
But
so you have to be able. Now, if you own your own,
no more. You got to wherever you go.
Yeah,
so
but
you don't carry that whether you at work.
Look, I get what you're saying. We have to think about the reality. We have to think about the
reality.
Right now, brother, everybody right now don't have a platform like you that can earn money without going to an actual place to earn money. So at the end of the day, you have a boss. You have certain people that right now you can't be your nigga self to.
You're not supposed to be a nigga though.
It don't even gotta be your nigga
I'm saying
self,
you're
just
not,
your normal.
like right now, right? Okay, I'm from Coney Island, right?
Yes.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. But I worked at Bank of America. I couldn't be on the phone talking at Bank of America like, yo, what's good? You getting ready to do this balance transfer? Let me take this 40,000 and put it over here at this interest rate. You can't talk like that.
So let me clear something up because I don't want anyone to be confused by my statements, and I'm glad that you was able to, you know, open up the conversation a bit further because this is my statement on that. For those who are in environments like corporate America where there's a culture, right? This is about cultures. So any environment that you're in, you either gonna respect the culture, right? Or you're gonna change the culture, right? Or you're gonna buck on the culture. So I would advise for those of us who are in corporate environments or in quote unquote sensitive cultures or foreign cultures, that's not your culture. The egregor or the quote unquote groupthink that hovers over corporate America, that hovers over government, that hovers over places that we find ourselves in to make a living, those are not our safe spaces. So those are alien cultures. Your culture is hip hop, right? Your culture is African, spirituality, African cosmology and stuff like that. That culture will clash with corporate culture, right? So in corporate culture, you will adapt to corporate culture while in corporate culture. It's still the matrix, right? So when Neo and Morpheus and them got into the Matrix, did they not adapt to the Matrix? They didn't go into the Matrix wearing the shit that they had on when they was in Zion, right? They got fly, they dressed up, they got corporate. She put on the equivalent to some Ann Taylor, right? He put on the equivalent to what it looked like a 3-piece suit because he got clean. They went in there, they handled it, they got their bag and they got out, right? So ultimately, this is not because I feel that I'm responsible. I don't want to say something that's irresponsible. I would navigate through corporate, utilizing the tools that afforded me. Switching is a tool. If you got to use it, then use it. I'm speaking from a place of aggressive freedom, right? I aggressively got to where I'm at. I broke through a lot of things to find out off of the field. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm off the grid in my own mind. You know, I'm off the grid. I'm sovereign in my own ways because of how I move and because of and because of what the future holds and what the now represents. Because right now, as it stands, you know, I can't compare myself to damn near nobody that I know, you know, based off of where I'm at and what I'm doing and you know, and the impact that it's having. So, you know, I can't relate, you know, when that feels like, you know, the loss of freedom to not be me at this point. Right. So I kind of, you know, I'm encouraging, right? So what I say is I'm highly encouraging the family to, you know, become a student, you know what I'm saying? Or become, you know, someone who is, you know, if there's a regimen that you want to follow, or if there are steps that you are willing to take, that you can level up out of a situation that will even demand a code, right?
More dream cases, more owners, more going after yours, more business. Like, so I definitely agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
like
this is what's been created over the last 10 years, right? This is what's been created. This has been created at the hands of multitudes. Well, not too many people, but there's been a few tastemakers or code writers, like how you had the architect, he wrote the code. And they've created it to where this lifestyle right here is a way of living now, right? Mm-hmm. And we could live freely by being ourselves, right? And not just live freely, we could prosper in life, you know, by controlling the aspects of our life that was once controlled by others. It was monetized by others. So when I didn't want to pay people for clothes anymore, or I didn't want to catch cases for taking clothes, I started making clothes. And I took that back. And I was like, yo, not only am I going to take the money back that I will be spending on the clothes, but I'm going to make some money at the same time so I could feed the itching that's in my veins to get money from clothes, because that was what I was used to since I was like 13. I decided, me and my brother was on some militant shit. We was on Calvin and Hobbes. We used to draw. Let me show you. Hold on. We used to draw black cloud Calvin and Hobbes.
Are we just gonna do video this time?
Right. Father was teaching us about what was happening to our people, right? It's penciled out. You might not be able to see it.
Ooh. But
I used to do flyers for the hood, right? Like real hood parties, hooky parties and stuff. Those are like classics. But we started drawing. We was getting influenced by like Ice Cube, right? America's Most Wanted, Public Enemy. So they had us on some militant shit. You know what I mean? So
that's fire.
We was doing artwork where the aggression that we have for white people, right? Look, this is ill, right? This says...
Moves around a little bit.
It says the year. What does the year say?
90.
90, right?
90. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Wrong. What does it say? Fear of a Black Planet.
Wow.
I can on. He got a on, right?
Yeah, look at the
he got on. And this is Flavor Flav, Public Enemy, right? I just did a lecture with Professor Griff the other day called Fear of a Black Planet 2020. And Professor Griff was teaching, right? So that's me drawing my reality in 1990, right? Then in 2020, I'm still living it out. I'm wearing onks. I'm rocking the red, black, and green. Yeah. And I'm working with Professor Griff.
Wow.
Manifestation.
Yo, so but look, okay, so check this out. And it's kind of just like it's kind of dope, like what my the brother Q Butter is doing. I think it's important really right now. Like with what you were saying, I think it's definitely important that we teach the kids and the youth all of this stuff now. You feel what I'm saying? Because as far as the adults right now,
other way. There you go.
Can you hear what I'm saying?
Yes, I can hear what you're saying.
Okay, yeah. Now I was saying, it's a lot easier to kind of now like push that mentality forward on the young kids.
Look, the most programmable brains on the planet right now, 1 to 13, and then from 13 to 21. Like we got them.
Mm-hmm.
We got them. We got them right where we want them. As a matter of fact,
that's right.
They're so ready for the truth.
With the headphones is better. Like without the headphones, you kind of be breaking up a little bit, but with the headphones in, you good money.
Okay. The only thing was my battery was dying and shit.
Okay, so, okay, no doubt.
Those lightning things and.
Okay, nah, it's all good though. It's all good. Finish what you were saying. My fault, bro.
That's all good. So the children, because they're into the video games, the brothers out there that got stacks on deck and they like throwing the shit around. All right, cool. The children need us, right? The children of the future. They're gonna ones that's gonna save our black asses because they're digital. Right. So Mr. Stacks, Mr. Big Bundles, Mr. Me Too, all of these guys out here, Mr. Big Willie, whatever they call him, Mr. Big Stepper, whatever the word is these days. Even the hot girls with the summer. Put your fucking money up. Stop playing games for somebody comes and takes it from you, okay? Because there's people that need that shit to do better things, like start an evolution, right? Buy these kids some 3D printer machines, right? Make them into the little fucking Tony Starks that they are. Buy them laser cutting machines, right? They're called laser cut machines. Go and look it up. Go and look at 3D printer machines, 4D printer machines. The 3D printing machines are revolutionary. Why? Because I'm a little 10-year-old. I got problems. I got behavior problems. I can't stay still, but I like to doodle. So I doodle in a book, right? I could take that same doodling, scan it in a scanner, put it in a 3D program, and print it out on a 3D printer, and it should be real. A doodle will turn into something like this. Wow. So our child to know that what they're thinking, they could create in the real world in real time. All of the fuck shit that they was going through, they're rebelling because you niggas got them on some analog shit. Niggas got them running around like this shit is The Wire, moving packs. They got little niggas stripping, touching toes. They got them running around shooting at people. They got them out here duck hunting for them. So what I'm saying is, that's not it, bro. Y'all are leading these children and got the nerve to say Black Lives Matter. Got the nerve to bandwagon Mike Fallon in general and all of them. No. Yeah, almost doing these children worse than what the popo come around every now and then and catch a stain. Yeah. Y'all out staining niggas every day. Mm-hmm. For the sake of staining. Look at what's going on in Chicago. Those are shooters on missions. Do you know that? Do you know that they're being put out there by some of these old niggas? Do you know that these little shooters are on mission? They're being paid to shoot.
Yeah.
So our people are suffering because for the past 30 years, the last generation is failing the one that's coming after them. That's the problem.
Definitely.
There's a bunch of niggas with fucking airplane hats on with gray beards and whatnot, trying to keep up with Emery and Jay-Z. And these are the niggas that dropped the ball. Mm. The niggas that came home, they're doing their best. They're trying to, turn the fucking leaf over. But these Negroes have been running around, hummer stunting, and false flagging and hiding real people. Yeah, they failed the hood because they're not doing a goddamn thing. All of these fake ass millionaires in the industry, these niggas are corny. They don't own no buildings. They don't even have no jitney cabs. They're useless eaters at this point. You understand? And they're more, I promise you, they have more in their portfolios that are invested in Mossad type businesses, small ventures than they do in anything melanated. And they want to sit in a room with us. And I'm saying that that's impossible. You feel me? You could never sit in a room with us. I'll never sit in a room with half of these dudes. All of them are ops in my eyes. And nobody could prove me wrong. Y'all gonna find out the hard way. You don't heed the warnings of Malcolm X. And he told the people about these fake ass celebrities, because the celebrities are actually owned on paper. I'm not making it.
Yeah.
Are they now? You watch Unsung. You keep up with the goddamn reports. You know that these people are employees of the same corporations that's out here doing everybody dirty. Big pharma, the big police, big military, whatever. It's all the same thing. They all on the stock market. So the same people that own you is the same people that's killing you. So I'm not surprised you niggas don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even barking, bro. If you consider that barking, then I'm saying, why are the gangster rappers not being gangster? Why are the trap rappers not trapping nobody? What's the fucking problem? Where's the trap money at? Why is nobody putting bags out there? And you know, why is the rhymes? Niggas, you ran out of rhymes? Like, what happened to the bag? Why can't you say, I'm gonna put a bag on this dude's fucking round?
Let me tell you what I think it is, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think, niggas went through so much hardship at times. Like, you know them niggas in the jets right now that ain't have nothing and finally get that money. It's hard to get that person to go back sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, and don't get me wrong, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, right now, they done gave us the mentality to where it's almost like they made it, like, we think it's hard to make it. So the ones that finally make it, it's almost like they're trying to protect their assets.
Okay, so then they finished then. Get them out of here.
Come on.
Now they have a new group who get to the bag and don't talk about none of that. It's gonna go with the bag. Like, what?
But the thing is, we gotta make that happen.
It's no buts.
No, ain't no buts, but we gotta make that happen. Like, you know, like right now, like you said, new niggas coming in and putting out music and all that, and taking out the old dudes. It's dudes that's putting out conscious music, and I always say this, Kimbada. You know what I'm saying? With albums like that, it's dudes that can take over the world. But you gotta it's like the people, we gotta support that to get the people out of there. You feel what I'm saying? It's almost like we our own enemy.
Well, let's start with that's coming out on the solstice on the eclipse, and I got heat for these niggas. I don't know what nobody is doing. I know what we doing. I know what my team is. I'm in body the executive producer. Like, I know what we doing. You know, and I know what needs to be done. Right. I'm out paint some houses right now. Like, I know what needs to be done. We need to slide in the right direction. Niggas is not sliding it. We need to make slide on the ops.
Yeah.
And as long as dudes are scared to say something, we're gonna continue to go through what we go through. But once this wave comes, we're gonna have David Hasselhoff and all of these niggas on Baywatch. They're not gonna allow you niggas to get in the wave.
Yeah.
They're not gonna allow, because people are riding this wave something silly right now. But we're gonna shoot a few torpedoes and get them up off the wave, because you can't ride this wave. This is a God frequency. You can't ride this wave into immortality. You can't ride this wave into the history books, and you niggas ain't put in no fucking work. And I'm not talking to nobody here, but I'm talking to these knuckle draggers who are out here masquerading, putting on this fake, they cosplaying to be conscious, and it's called woke. That's what they call it, woke, the woke shit. And I respect to everybody that's woke, but inside of woke is a rest haven for woke jokes and diet wokes and niggas that are hummer stunting, the same way that they was hummer stunting in the drug game, the same way that they hummer stunting in the gang, the same way that they hummer stunting in the strip club, niggas with singles and whatnot, while they throwing hundreds. You niggas is in here think this is a rest haven, and it's not. And they're trying to ride the wave into immortality. They want to pimp the people. I don't know if people realize the rewards when we develop a reward system, because that has to happen. When we develop a value system, because that has to happen. When we develop a penalty system, because that has to happen. In order to have a society, in order to function, we got to have a penalty system, meaning If anybody slips up, they know that there's consequences. If you kill me, you know that there's consequences. I put out $100 million life insurance, right? Meaning that there's $100 million in a bag. If anybody does anything to me, I got $100 million to take out everybody that they know, straight like that. That's my motherfucking court case. You know what I'm talking about? That's my Supreme Court. Give it to me the right way. That's my life insurance. No, the government can't tell me that I can't insure my body by saying I got $100 million on me. If you put a hand on me, my friend, prepare for body to fucking evaporate like Thanos snap, because that's how much I value. Matter of fact, and next year it's gonna go up. That's how we gotta see ourselves. If you were to run my credit, if you were to just run, this is what I'm saying. Like once they bring and that's the shift that y'all feeling right now. This is where it's headed.
Okay.
The non-essential conversation is a spiritual one.
Yeah.
Don't think that this is a white people doing. This ain't China. This is all spiritual. Aspect of putting the right people in the right places so this shit could go back to what the fuck is supposed to be. It's backwards. Niggas like Puff Daddy and these niggas get $100,000 to walk through the club, and we don't get 500 to walk through the club. That's the problem.
Right.
There's a problem with valuation, that Black society has not valuated those who are more valuable than the ones who they deem to be valuable. And until you fix that, you're not gonna operate in the way you're supposed to. It's still backwards.
Right.
You put the niggas in front of us that don't belong. So get them out of the way, sit them down, and give us the fucking bag. Give us what we deserve. Run my credit. Run the Know the Ledge Radio archives. Run the receipts. Give it a valuation. There's gonna come a day and time because of intellectual property. And what you said 10 years ago is going to have a valuation if it comes through, if it comes true. If I said some shit in 2009 and they could show that in 2019 it manifested, there's a bag that's going to be available for that. There's a valuation that's going to come with that. There's a price tag to that. That's the future that we're headed to. So that's why content is king, and I'm going to keep cooking. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep looking the way that I look, because I know what the future holds. And I know that we're carving a humongous slate in the book of Enoch, or the book of Negroes. So, you know, and your work is going to speak for yourself. So people can masquerade all day, but we're going into the quantum realm. They're going to run your shit in 1 second to see what you did.
True.
You know what I mean? You're going to be judged by your works. So the nights, the sweat that you put in, every time you logged on, that shit is counted. It's already logged. They already got it in the cloud. It's part of the hours that you spent researching, the time that you spent online doing your podcast, the amount of videos that you put out there. All of that is counted. Don't ever think that it's not. It's all part of metadata. Niggas don't know because they don't know about metadata. They don't read the analytics. They ain't into shit like that. They don't know that this is a numbers game, and in order to manipulate the numbers game, you got to get into the numbers. You know what I'm talking about? This is not throw the shit in the sky and just think that it's gonna, you know. And to be honest with you, I don't even, you know, I'm just getting into the data shit. I'm just getting into numbers and understanding it, and I'm blown away.
Yeah.
But I know what needs to be done, and it's slowly starting to do that. But in order for it to happen, unfortunately, you know, to many people's dismay, the people who you had in the front, your old guard gotta go.
Yeah.
And the ones who are running around cosplaying and they in the way, to be honest with you, they're not doing their proper role. They got too much money for no action.
Mm-hmm.
They got too much resources for where's the towns at? Where's the cities at? What are you talking about? I got regular people that's ready to put it on the line and go get a town, man. And they almost there with their bags.
Almost. Yeah.
I stood on sofas and watched 100 racks get thrown in the air.
Yeah.
It's a waste.
On thoughts who didn't do nothing but take that money back to the European the next day.
Yeah.
That's a perpetual cycle that's going to have, it's a pre-existing condition, right? To the extinction that we face if we keep going backwards, because it's not going to be, this shit is going to be super ugly in a minute. I promise you, if niggas keep moving in the direction that this whole COVID slowdown was a warning. When these niggas jump off of their porches and they didn't change one iota, forget about them. Write them off. Because if you attach to them, you going with them too. Forget about them. Don't even look like they told that nigga, what's his name, Lot. Just look away.
Right.
A lot of people gonna get washed because this planet is cleansing itself. The ancestors, I feel, you know, the world is becoming, you know, is leveling up.
Yeah.
It's becoming very serious. There's gonna be millionaires out of the. There's gonna be more millionaires. Millionaires gonna be like thousandaires in a minute. We're in the quantum. We went into 2020. We got excited because Jay-Z was the first billionaire. There's gonna be 100 billionaires in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be something that we're gonna laugh at about how long it took these bum ass niggas to become a billionaire in hip hop. How did it take 40 years? That's how you know that there was this shit. That you talk about rape culture. You talk about raping you records.
Yeah.
You know how many small hats became billionaires in the first 3 years? It took Mon 40 years, and it's still questionable if he got.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going into a future with technology, industry 4.0. Everything gonna be smart. 5G is gonna roll out, and
What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I think that people should have protection. There's going to be preventative measures. Like all of this, got it on my website. All of this is preventative. It's all, look, this is the new drugs right here.
Copper? All right now.
Well, these are, you know, this is 5G. It's copper and anti-5G.
Okay.
You know, all of the stones, you know what I mean, is anti-5Gs.
Some shungite up in there.
Million, yeah. They got the whole breakdown. Carnelian.
That one on Kings County? What's the website?
Yeah, I'm about to say, so what's your website? Let the people know.
Kings County?
So this is the information, you know, so you get information. So you're not just wearing the jewelry, you know, you got the information. So the shungite, the chakra is the root chakra, right? And the solar plexus, the element is water. The zodiac is Cancer, Scorpio, or Capricorn. And the powers of it is protection, grounding, personal power, absorbs negativity, total healing, EMF, 5G, protection. Now you got to remember, and this is the affirmation that goes with it. I take responsibility for my health and I utilize the natural tools available to me. All right. So remember, the same way that a diamond or quartz is consistent, meaning that it never not does what it says that it's going to do. Carbon always does what it says. Something about stones are absolute, right? They're fixed. So a copper is always going to do what copper says it's going to do. Gold is always going to do what gold does. A diamond, once it's cut and polished, is always going to reflect light and always be able to cut glass. So these stones are absolute. They're not wishy-washy. They're not humans. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, these are ancient. So the same, your melanin is ancient. Your DNA is ancient. So why not be connected to something ancient in a world where all of this plastic, fake GMO, you know, man-made stuff is killing us. The chemicals are killing us, slowing us down, breaking us down. You know.
Well, quick question. So just not change the topic a little bit too. So I hear you say a couple minutes ago you was mentioning Thotton, right?
Yeah.
So just to go into kind of like our relationship type of thing, like, what do you think the current state? What do you think about the current state of relationships? Do you think there's real value in beauty? Do you really think there's value in relationships? Do you really think? Because I think a lot of times with growth, a lot of times there's a lot of growth, even though, in the way we treat our women, the way we handle a lot of things.
Yeah.
That also goes with growth as a person. No matter what direction you're going in as far as consciousness, you can say you're conscious, but if you're beating on women, you're incomplete. You're not whole as a being. You feel me? So, yeah. What do you think about how men value women, how women value men, and just the current state of the relationship? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there any real value in it?
You know,
as far as you want to go, like, do you think that's important for where we're trying to go?
Well, okay, I'll answer it. I think first.
Answer that. Hold on, right quick. Look.
There you go. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Fire.
Okay.
Fire. I feel, the ultimate telltale sign of a man's maturity is, the way that he treats his divine reflection. Like, there is no barometer. There is no litmus test higher than that, and his divine reflection of his progeny, of course, his child, but a reflection of your maturity, or the way that you measure your maturity, or the quote unquote, the ruler in which you can measure maturity is the relationship with your divine reflection. And that goes for both ways. Your divine reflection is your other half, right? Your polar opposite, biologically, molecularly, right? Because people's, and I can't, and I'm going to take that stance, and, I'm going to say that I'm just staying with nature for this moment, because, in both gender, in each gender, we have expressions of both frequencies.
Right.
But I'm saying biologically, the way that I know that a sun and the moon come together to make a star, biologically, like the power of the sun is the father, right? And the mother is the earth, right? Like Mother Earth, right? So the rays of the sun is the father. Like the father is like all powerful, right? Who they say, even in the religious sense of the word, the father is all powerful. The father is a jealous God. The father is all seeing, all knowing. His hands reach everywhere. That's the sun. The father life. That's the sun. You try taking the sun out of the equation to see how long life on this planet lasts. The planet is not giving life. The sun is giving the planet life. So the sun is the father, right? That's Big Daddy. That's Daddy. You can't say that your father abandoned you if your ass got the sun. If the sun kissed you, you abandoned the father. The father can never abandon the child. The child can only abandon the father. So people have abandoned the sun, right? They go inside, they run from the sun, they be in the AC, they sun guard when they come out. You got people in the South who scared of the sun. I don't want to get black. They come out day walkers. They on some dead ass. They on some lost boy shit.
Yeah.
Atlanta's a vampire city. How about that? Atlanta's a vampire city. And New York was like that for a while too. I remember living in Atlanta and being highly frustrated because I would ride around in the daytime looking for all of those fly chicks that I saw the night before.
Nobody outside.
I could not find them anywhere.
That's the country out there. First of all, you already know Atlanta. That's the fool me right there. What you see in the clip on the videos and all. You definitely not getting ready to see those walking around. You might go to the mall. You might go to the mall or something and catch something, but you ain't about to see none of that on a regular walk around.
Stallions in it, and a stallion is a male horse.
Right.
Hello.
The mall is a no. Yeah, that's a no. That's no good.
No good.
Nah, no, but that's the only way you gonna probably see a couple of jerks. You damn sure ain't gonna see them on the street.
Not at all. Like I was perplexed. I was like, I never seen nothing like that. I just wanted to be in their, I just wanted them, I wanted to be in their environment. I was like, shit, if they look like that with the lights off, what's the daytime action looking like? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I wanted to be in a park around them and shit. I was like, where they on some vampire shit. So boom, we forsake that father for a new father. Guess who the new father is? A white man on the wall.
Yeah.
Said, do not forsake your father and do not forsake your mother if you want your days this planet to be long.
Yeah. Principal Christianity role.
I'm getting into relationships though.
Oh.
Black women, as of lately, black men, as of lately,
come on now,
chosen to forsake both their father and their mother because the mother is what? Mother Earth. Everything. Remember, the sun. They have it in Kemet where the sun has hands on, where the sun rays has hands on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every part of the earth the sun caresses, and the sun rays are like sperm, right? They penetrate the moist, succulent, fertile egg that is the earth. And what sprouts out of her? Trees, leaves, flowers, plants. They call it flora, fauna. And then what arises from it? Deers, rabbits, butterflies, snakes, crocodiles, walruses, buffaloes, lions, giraffes. And then the highest form of mother and father's creation, which is the sun and the earth, her highest form of child, which would be Heru in Kemetic knowledge, is the human being who's supposed to be the caretaker of all of his other brothers and sisters on the planet. Right. Because the mother, so then the European comes, right? And they come, whatever force that they have working with them, this father, you could tell that they don't have a father because if you brought them out and if they were naked, if their father, remember the father exposed himself, right? He was naked, and then what? The child got cursed.
Right.
So you put a white man in front of the father, and what happens to him? You take his clothes off and stand him in front of his father. The father will spank him. Yeah. Right? The father will step on his child, right? So then the child went to destroy the mama. So for the last 500 years, they've been destroying their mama, pulling the earth apart, tearing her up, destroying her, blowing shit up on her, digging all in her, pulling the oil up, all of these things. And we, men and women, have given our life force, our heart, and our minds to this entity that's not our mother and our father. And we forsaken our true mother and our father. And niggas get into relationships like that with mind state. So here it is. You got a clear mind. You sunbathing. You giving it up to the father. You done figured it out. You got your hands in the soil. You on your yemeya. You all in the ocean. You all in the goddamn mud. You all in the dirt. You all in your garden. You all in the park. You want to sun gaze. You want to ground yourself. You want to hug a tree. You want to sniff the roses. You want to eat plants and not animals. And here comes this motherfucker who done forsake the mother and the father, trying to tell you, no, nigga, praise Jesus. That's your father. And that's who made you. Eat the animals of the earth. Eat your brothers and sisters, you know. And I'm sorry if there's any animals.
No. Fuck out of here. No, can't do that.
There's conflict taking place.
Okay.
The Yahudi has taken control of sexual education. So he understands that the magic, real magic, black magic, the same magic that got us where the fuck we are today, the same magic that built the pyramids, the same magic that had niggas rolling boulders up a fucking hill in Machu Picchu, right?
Right.
was between the legs of our women. It's called heaven. Before the European he became the middleman and was steering our sexuality and telling us where to stick our phalluses and how to do it and how fast to do it and how rough to do it and all of these things and where to put what kind of dressings to put on it. You know, all of these things that they taught us because they intercepted a very sacred practice and they perverted it. And then the small hat is responsible for that. You know what I'm saying? So they've completely messed up our relationships with each other because they're in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get them out the way, stop participating in the shit that they're telling us, stop listening to the music that they're selling us because that's their viruses. Stop watching the movies that they're giving us because that's their viruses. Stop with everything. They cannot, how could they tell us how to love each other and they don't even love each other like that? Real talk. They're not the epitome of love.
True.
Of love. They don't teach us sensuality. They're not the teachers of Kama Sutra. They don't teach about the affairs of the heart. They don't deal with your heart being as light as a feather. They're lying if they told you that. They was hitting over the head. They had their mamas under their foot. And they had to have women's suffrage. You know what I'm saying? That was Little Richard syndrome. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay.